Welcome you all. Non-traditional machining 18ME641 Module 2 Abrasive Jet Machining. This is lecture series 5. Myself Prashanta MOV, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Canara Engineering College, Mangalore. If you have any doubts regarding this video, you can directly contact me through this email ID mvprashanta1985@canaraengineering.in. Once again, welcome you all. Disclaimer: this PPT has been prepared by referring many sources, which includes figures, diagrams from internet as well as from prescribed text and reference books. I do not claim any originality in preparing this PPT or video. This PPT or video is exclusively for the purpose of education and not for any financial gains. I wholeheartedly thank all those who have directly or indirectly contributed to do this PPT or video. Once again, I thankful to them. Process parameters of abrasive jet machining. Process parameters or process variables of abrasive jet machining. The following are the critical parameters that affect the material removal rate in abrasive jet machining process. They are carrier gas, type and size of the abrasives, abrasive flow rate and velocity, standoff distance, short form is SOD, or nozzle tip distance, short form is NTD, and last is mixing ratio. Now we will go for in detail one by one. First one is carrier gas. As you know already, as we have discussed in the previous video about carrier gas, here air, nitrogen or carbon dioxide is generally used as a carrier gas. When we make use air as a carrier gas, it must be filtered to remove moisture, oil and other contaminants before entering to the nozzle, right? And the density of air is 1.3 kg per meter square. Maintain a pressure in the range of 2 to 10 bars, and flow rate has to be maintained in the range of 5 to 30 liter per minute. Must not flare when discharged and should be non-toxic and cheap. It is capable of being dried and cleaned easily. Here see, the carrier gas plays a very important role in the material removal rate. See, any drop happens in the mixture, any drop happens in the uniform mixture of carrier gas and abrasive grains, so it directly affect on the material removal rate. Here see, as carrier gas is increases in the proportion, it is increases the material removal rate with when the gas is strikes against the work surface, the high velocity gas strikes against the work surface, there is a possibility of melting or any kind of damages may happens. So that is why maintain some proper pressure, velocity of the carrier gas. Second is type and size of the abrasive particles. Here selection of the abrasive particles mainly depends on what kind of machining whether it is drilling holes or in a cleaning operation or polishing or any kind of machining operations, and type of workpiece material and cost, and should have sharp and irregular shape. The abrasive grains should have a sharp and irregular in shape. Okay, and the materials used here is aluminum oxide, silicon carbide. When these two are utilized, aluminum oxide and silicon carbide is used, those are coarse grain abrasives. When coarse grain abrasives are utilized, here the operation is, material removal rate is faster, but we will get a poor surface finish. And these aluminum oxide and silicon carbide used for cutting operations. And next is glass beads or sodium bicarbonate as abrasive particles, and these are used for cleaning operations, etching operations, polishing operations and deburring operations. When the fine grains are utilized, see, glass beads are sodium bicarbonate, these are all fine abrasive grains. These are mainly used for finishing operation. Here material removal rate is less, but we will get a good or better surface finish. And reuse is not recommended. This one I have explained in the previous video, and it reduces the quality of cut. Here why we not recommended means, see, once the abrasive particle used for the application, it loses its existing energy. Like the quality of cut. Hence, we are not recommended for the reuse. The size of the abrasive grain ranges from 10 to 50 micrometers. An abrasive with a large particle size removes the material faster from the work surface than with the smaller particle sizes. Coarse grains are recommended for cutting, while fine grain abrasives for polishing and deburring operations, etc. Here size, as I told, 10 to 50 micrometers. Here I have mentioned 10 to 25 micrometer. For silicon carbide, 25 to 40 micrometer. For sodium bicarbonate, 27 micrometer. And for glass beads, 0.635 to 127 micrometer. An abrasive with a larger particle size removes material faster than the smaller particle sizes. The size of the abrasive grain generally it's from 10 to 50 micrometers. Okay. See, regarding the material removal rate, as I told, coarse abrasive grains removes the material faster, and fine abrasive grains removes the material slower. Abrasive flow rate and velocity. See, increase in the flow rate of abrasives increases the material removal rate. When the flow rate of the abrasive grains increases, it directly increases the material removal rate. It directly affects the effect on material removal rate, because more abrasive particles are available for cutting. However, when the flow rate exceeds 14 gram per minute, when the flow rate exceeds 14 gram per minute, the abrasive velocity decreases, thereby reducing the material removal rate. So when abrasive velocity is decreases, thereby decreasing the material removal rate. For the erosion of the work surface by the abrasives, the minimum jet velocity is found to be 150 meter per second. So here the minimum jet velocity is found, that is in the range, not a range, that is to be 150 meter per second. The jet velocity is a function of a nozzle pressure, nozzle design, abrasive grain size and mean number of abrasives per unit volume of the carrier gas. The jet velocity function is a the jet velocity, a function of nozzle pressure, nozzle design, abrasive grain size and mean number of abrasives per unit volume of the carrier gas. Next, fourth one, as I told, standoff distance, short form is SOD, another name is NTD, nozzle tip distance. Okay, here see the nozzle tip distance or standoff distance, it is a distance between the tip of the nozzle and the working surface. A larger of standoff distance results in a more material removal rate but poor accuracy or poor surface finish. Decrease in a standoff distance improves the accuracy, decreases the kerf width and reduces taper in machined groove. And standoff distance not only affects a material removal rate but also the shape and size of the cavity produced. We can see it in the these diagrams. See, look at here the effect of a standoff distance on material removal rate. This is the nozzle. See, here is the nozzle. This is the nozzle tip, and from which the abrasive mixture is strikes against the work surface in the degree of 7 degrees. Look at here the angle. The angle is 7 degrees. Here the maintain a distance of in this case 0.75 millimeter SOD, and here 1 millimeter SOD, and here 1.5 millimeter, and here is 2 millimeter. See, look at the diagram. When the standoff distance is 0.75 millimeter, look at the depth and accuracy. Look at the depth. The diameter of a 0.5 millimeter hole or cavity is produced here, and look at the accuracy. The exactly corners and look like a some rectangular box is obtained, or rectangular cavity is obtained. When the standoff distance is smaller, we can get is a good surface finish, and improves accuracy. And when the standoff distance is increases, look at here in the second case. Here in second case the distance of standoff distance is 1 millimeter. Here see the kerf distance is increases, see, instead of 0.5 millimeter, here 0.7 millimeter cavity is obtained. And increase the standoff distance as 1.5 millimeter. Here also the kerf distance is increases in the range of 1 millimeter. See, instead of 0.5 millimeter, here 1 millimeter the diameter is obtained. In the previous case 0.7 millimeter diameter obtained, here 1 millimeter diameter obtained. And similarly in the last case maintain a 2 millimeter standoff distance or nozzle tip distance. Here 1.5 millimeter diameter cavity is obtained. So what it indicates, see, when the distance is smaller, we can get a good accuracy and better surface finish, but material removal rate is less. When the distance is increases, here when distance is increases, material removal rate is more, but poor in accuracy and poor in surface finish. Next is mixing ratio. The mean number of abrasive particles per unit volume of the carrier gas can be obtained from the mixing ratio, that is denoted by capital M. See, the capital M, that is a mixing ratio. Here it is defined by volume of flow rate of the abrasive particle, to the volume flow rate of carrier gas. Mixing ratio, it is the ratio of volume flow rate of abrasive particle to the volume flow rate of carrier gas, and it is denoted by capital M. The mixing ratio, it is denoted by capital M. When the larger the value of mixing ratio results in higher material removal rate. When the value of capital M increases, it increases the material removal rate, but at very high values particle clog at the nozzle. Okay, see, obviously the value of M is increases, it directly affect on the material removal rate, so increases the material removal rate. However, the larger the abrasive flow rate, it has been found to adversely influence jet velocity and may sometimes even clog the nozzle. Thus, for a given condition, there is an optimum value of M mixing ratio that gives a maximum metal removal rate. And next is process characteristics. Here, material removal rate, nozzle wear, accuracy, and surface finish. First, process capability or process characteristic of abrasive jet machining, that is a material removal rate. A typical material removal rate or metal removal rate for AJM is 16 millimeter cube per minute in cutting glass. And kindly note down, the material removal rate is expressed in terms of millimeter cube per minute or gram per minute. The typical material removal rate for AJM is 16 millimeter cube per minute for a cutting glass. A minimum width of about 0.1 millimeter can be cut using a rectangular nozzle with an orifice of 0.075 into 1.5 millimeter placed at a distance of 0.08 millimeter from the work surface. I will repeat. See, a minimum width of about 0.1 millimeter can be cut using a rectangular nozzle with an orifice of 0.075 into 1.55 millimeter placed at a distance of stand-up distance, that is 0.08 millimeter from the work surface. And typical cutting speeds vary between 25 to 125 millimeter per minute. That is the velocity of the cutting speed. Okay, velocity. Look at the some graphs regarding abrasive flow rate versus material removal rate. In this case, see, as the abrasive flow rate increases, material removal rate is also increases. Look at here. In this case, there is a abrasive flow rate is like this, the material removal rate is like this. Look at here, abrasive grain sizes are increases, abrasive flow rate is increases. Here material removal rate is increases. Look at here. So flow rate of the abrasives directly affects to the material removal rate. When diameter of the abrasive grains increases, so coarse grains, so material removal rate is faster. And in second one, gas pressure, gas flow rate, or for a constant mixture ratio, when gas flow rate is increases, material removal rate is also increases. Look at the graph. See, all are going higher level. So you can see it in the graph. Look at here, in this pressure range, material removal rate is here, and in this pressure range, the material removal rate is like this. So what it indicates, gas pressure, as gas pressure increases the material removal rate. And here same with a straight line, and here is some bending line. See what it indicates. The straight line indicates means in the constant mixing ratio, the abrasive flow rate increases, material removal rate is also increases. in the mixing ratio, see, up to the optimum level, the material removal rate is increases. So when it crosses the optimum level, the material removal rate is decreases. Okay. This one is also we have discussed in the previous video or previous slides. Next is a nozzle wear. See, here the life of the nozzle is 10 to 300 hours. Within that, we have to complete the operations as we desired. Here the material is used for making nozzle tungsten carbide or silicon sapphire. Diameter, internal diameter of the nozzle generally from 0.2 to 0.8 millimeters, and the shape of the nozzle either in circular in shape or rectangular in cross section. The nozzle pressure is generally maintained between 2 to 8.5 kg force per centimeter square. It is depends on workpiece material and desired characteristics of machined surface regarding accuracy and surface finish, etc. With increase the wear of the nozzle, the divergence of the jet stream increases, resulting in the more stray cutting and high in accuracy. Okay. So here this is also one of the process capabilities of the abrasive jet machining. Next is accuracy. See, under optimum machining conditions, a tolerance in the range of plus or minus 0.05 millimeter can be obtained. And under the normal production work, a tolerance value extends up to 0.1 millimeter, that is plus or minus 0.1 millimeter. Next is surface finish. Surface finish ranges from 0.4 to 1.2 micrometer in most applications and depends on the abrasive particle size and the material being machined. Look at the this table. Left column is average particle size in micrometer and right column is surface roughness in micrometer. When average particle size of the abrasive is 10 micrometer, surface roughness in micrometer is 0.15 to 0.2 we will get. And abrasive average particle size, that is 25 micrometer, surface roughness is 0.4 to 0.8. And 50 is the average particle size. 50 micrometer is the average particle size and surface roughness is 1 to 1.5 micrometer. See, from the table we can conclude that as the average particle size in micrometer increases, the surface roughness is also increases. Advantages. Here a few of the major advantages of abrasive jet machining: ability to cut intricate shapes in hard, brittle and heat sensitive materials. High surface finish, we will get a good or better surface finish. It is free from vibrations. Low capital cost and low power consumption. Thin sections can be easily machined. Limitations. Metal removal rate or material removal rate is low. Abrasive particles cannot be reused. See, as I told, we are not recommended abrasive particles for reuse. Not suitable for mass production because of high maintenance requirements. Nozzle life is limited up to 300 hours, hence it needs frequently replacement, and it cannot be used for machining soft and ductile materials. Okay. Here one more limitation. Short nozzle tip distance when used for cutting may damage the nozzle. The nozzle distance when used for cutting may damage the nozzle. That is also one of the drawbacks. Resilient materials such as rubber and some plastics resist the chipping action and thus cannot be effectively processed by this process. That is also one of the limitations. Next is applications. Here used for machining of brittle and heat sensitive materials like glass, quartz, semiconductor materials, mica, etc. Second application used in drilling holes, cutting slots, deburring operation, trimming operation and removing oxides from the surface of the work or surface of the objects, okay, and other surface films on the work surface. Next is removing the glue and paint from the paintings and leather objects, not only leather objects, any kind of the objects. Making micro machining on brittle materials. And one more application used in laboratories to prepare surfaces for strain gauge applications and to create artificial flaws in materials for calibration and testing equipments. Okay, and one more see overall it has some advantages, limitations in the abrasive jet machining. Whatever, final conclusion is the abrasive jet machining is preferred for machining a brittle, hard and heat sensitive material or non-conductive materials. Okay. Uh, Thank you.